Brockman. Go ahead and ask him.
Yeah, Grant, which home team down 1-0 is in the most trouble? Celtics, Clippers, Raptors.
What do you think?
I actually think the Clippers. I think we know the Raptors have been here before, and 3-4 years in a row, I think, losing game one in the first round at home. Last year they did it against Indiana, and they were able to come back and win that series and ultimately get to the conference finals. The Celtics, there's some concern there because one thing, in the playoffs, you have to have guys that can get their own shot. And I think, Boston has just one in Isaiah Thomas, and he's remarkable and been remarkable all season. Chicago, through all the ups and downs this year, they have D. Wade and Jimmy Butler. So, there's concern there. But the Clippers, to me, and we saw we heard or sensed the frustration Doc Rivers in that soundbite that you just played. There's been so many expectations, and you wonder if the window is closing or has closed. And all the sort of imploding in the playoffs and the postseason over the last 5 years, the pressure that comes with that, the sort of feeling of here we go again. You wonder if that's creeping into their mindset and into their psyche. And I think, look, if they were to lose this series or just lose, period, and not get far into the postseason, there's a lot of questions about what that franchise is going to do moving forward. And so, obviously remains to see how this all plays out for them. But that was tough. And Utah, they went in there and got that win. And I feel like, they're young and they're well coached and they're confident. And so they're more than capable of going and winning game two as well. So, I actually, you can pick either one of those teams, but I'm actually just going with the Clippers just because of their history and not realizing expectations.
Well, all show I've been saying it's the Raptors, Grant, because just as anyone else that hot players in the playoffs could be dangerous. Whether it's John Wall coming out with 32 and 14 for the Wizards, or we saw what Harden did with 37 against Oklahoma City. Jimmy Butler, who you referenced, you could make a case that Giannis Antetokounmpo right now is a beast, and I'm just keeping an eye on them. Nobody's talking about the Bucks. They get the Cleveland, we all assume, in the second round. This could be a dangerous team in the making, Grant.
I agree. I mean, I think they're a dangerous team, and they're more than capable of winning this series. I'm actually calling Game 2 tomorrow in Toronto, Game 3 in Milwaukee, and then Game 5 in Toronto if needed. But they are dangerous. And what was really interesting was not that they won, but how they won. I mean, they pretty much beat up the Raptors, and they had almost a 20-point lead at one point in the fourth quarter. They just are long. They're athletic. They play well together, and they have Antetokounmpo, who is really becoming a star and is a matchup nightmare. Is playing with so much confidence, does so much for that team, and it just has continued his stellar play here in the postseason. So he also got help from Maker and Middleton. It was a real good collective team effort against the Raptors. But their suffocating defense presents a lot of problems. And then Kyle Lowry, who's their all-star there, averaged 22 points a game. I mean, for him to have 4 points, 2 for 11 from the field in game one, it's just you're not going to win against a good team. And he has struggled in playoffs. He's struggled shooting the basketball and playing the way he's capable of in years past. So, we look at Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee and we say, in 2 or 3 years they're going to be dangerous, but they might be dangerous right now.
Could be 2 or 3 days.
Exactly.
You never know.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.